I wanted to be able to update everybody on kind of what's happening next with the FFCRA, and then answer some of the questions I've been getting most recently and some of the clarification that the DOL has recently provided. So the provision went into effect at the beginning of April. They've been talking about it for longer than that. So for about the last 30 days, we've been getting guidance from the DOL, and they've continued to roll out that guidance. And as everybody's had questions about what they've rolled out, they've provided more answers. So and thus far, certainly everybody's been doing their best to comply. But what's changing is that as of Monday, so Friday is kind of the end of this 30-day grace period, the DOL can start bringing enforcement actions. So just before I start talking about it, FFCRA covers both the paid sick leave of 2 weeks or 10 days, and it also addresses this expanded FMLA. Now, as restaurant workers, they're deemed essential, and the shelter-at-home order puts that into effect. But that alone does not allow that leave to be taken for these essential workers in restaurants. Now, the questions that I've been getting, for example, is what if one of my essential workers is 65 or older and is at risk for contracting COVID? What if they have a health condition or a pre-existing condition that makes them more at risk? Is this leave for them? And despite the guidance that's been coming out, it's not crystal clear as to what that answer is, but what we've been advising is that you should allow leave for those categoried individuals. Another question we've been getting is, what if an employee has symptoms of COVID? They either come into the workplace and they say they have a fever, but they want to work through it. Certainly you're going to be sending them home. Or they may be calling saying, I'm experiencing symptoms of COVID. I think I have it. And then they say they want to take that leave in one of those two scenarios. You do not need to grant the leave at that time. And what the DOL is saying is that you can require them to get a note. So there's a few different circumstances. As long as they are seeking a medical diagnosis, so they're in the process of getting that note, and they can show forth, right? They have a doctor's appointment, they have communication, or if a doctor has either diagnosed them with COVID, or a doctor has simply said, I've done an assessment and they need to stay home, then that leave would be required if sought. Another question I've been getting is, what if the employee needs to care for a family member with COVID? Now, yes, employees can use leave for that purpose if requested, but the question I've been getting is, can they be required to use sick leave, for example? And the answer to that latter question is no. That's some of the guidance that's recently come out that we've interpreted, and it just so happened was a lot of the questions that we had been getting, so that guidance was helpful. But that's the most recent information out on the FFCRA.